Now, this is hard to record. This is right after the defeat of Manchester United's first game on tour in Malaysia, and it was against the ASEAN All-Stars. Now, ASEAN stands for the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which is basically all the Southeast Asian countries, and this is an all-stars team put together, which is not even the strongest team from these countries given that there are so many dropouts due to club commitments or their national team fixtures, which means that there are many last-minute inclusions, including a few players from Australia that came in to fill in some extra last-minute dropouts. But still, United came to Malaysia and lost to the ASEAN All-Stars team 1-0. In this video, I'm going to be addressing a question that's been asked to so many United fans, which is, why do you want to keep supporting this team? Give up already. Why put yourself through all this mental torture? And I'm here to talk about this particular question and the answer to it, which is a bit about living life. Now, here's the thing about being a football fan. Being able to go to a stadium to watch your favorite team play live and cheer your team on is a big deal. I know you can say you can go to streaming sites, you can watch them at home, cameras can capture all the players in closer vision, but the thing is, it's not the same. The thing with living in an area so rampant with social media is that we are so accustomed to the convenience and also the instant good results, which unfortunately, if you want to be a football fan, it doesn't happen. Because if you really are in a stadium, you get to experience the chants, the atmosphere, the bit of banter you kind of experience. This is something that you will never get sitting at home in front of a screen. And second of all, defeats. The thing is, defeats are one thing that really exposes a football fan. Of course, there are fans who live in a delusion that everything is an excuse or an external factor, but if you ask realistic fans like me, sure, I will criticize my team, I will bash my team, and I will rant my team. But the thing is, I'm just calling it what it is. They are playing poorly and their performance is an absolute shambles, right? This club is in an absolute abysmal state. Abysmal. And fans have every right to be angry. But the thing is, the real difference is that how many people are going to jump ship. This will be a very big test. There are fans who left at the 85th or 88th minute already, foreseeing that they're not going to win, which they end up losing. But there are those who waited to the end, but of course, boos rang out in the stadium. And some people will start saying that you fans are not loyal because you booed. The thing is, we don't hate the club. We just hate the current squad. It was poor. And we're just calling it as it is. And what does it have to do with living life? Now, you all know, life is full of turmoils. If you go to work, there will be bad colleagues, bad bosses, bad clients. Top to bottom, there will be something poor that drives you mad. Why do you stay in a job? You need to make a living. Same as a football club. The club is in absolute shambles. But why do many fans want to stay put? We're still going to support United even though we're relegated. But that's because that is a passion. Even at their worst point, you are going to support them. You are going to still hope for the best even though they are performing in reality at their absolute worst. But that's living life, people. You don't always get what you want. In your job, you can change your job 50 times in a year, but there will still be something that pisses you off, be it a boss, a colleague, or a client. You can have 50 relationships in a single year and you still couldn't find pleasure in any of them. Just because, what? There's no partner that fits your bill? Or you find a partner and you like them at first, but they won't throw downtime and you ditch them? Is that what the mentality is going to be? Because that's what many football fans are giving off right now. My team is doing bad and I may want to jump ship. But ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely not what life is about. Life is about going through experiences, enjoying the real roller coaster, the ups and downs, the pleasure of supporting your team, getting to see them with your own eyes. Of course, here comes an embarrassing defeat. Life is about getting cleaned through a job. I got a big bonus. Next minute, you got the worst performance review of your life. Life is about going through experiences. I feel loved. This is the love of my life. but then relationships still go sour. Life is about taking the lessons away from these experiences. It's about pulling through. It's about learning to endure through those defeats and realizing that there are things that matter more than others. And sometimes what matters most is that you get the enjoyment through the process. Because if you live your life purely of glory hunting, having the highest paying job, having the most good looking partners, or just celebrating trophies every season, of course I'm not saying to not pursue glory. Glory is great at its nature, but the thing is, life is not all about that glory. So here's my final word. If any of the United fans out there, if you want to jump ship, please remember one thing. Don't go out there claiming that you're a United fan, because you're clearly only here for the glory days. Ask a true fan, and I will say this on the record, even if United relegate to the championship and relegate once again to League One or worse, I will still support this club. Sure, I will still have those rants. I will still call them out when they play bad. But what football club doesn't have its low points? What football club will not have its worst owners, poor management? It's a common phenomenon, especially in today's football. No matter where you go, every club will still have their problems. So if you want to jump ship, do what you will. But please remember one thing. The moment you choose to give up on something, at the end, when they have their glory or their good times, you shouldn't have the right to walk back through that door to celebrate. That's all I gotta say. Cheers. See you.